Yeah, hello. Yeah. Zenith Bank yẹn ò tí ì ṣiṣẹ́ o. Tó bá ti ṣiṣẹ́ màá pè yín. All right. All right. How are you doing? Hi, TikTok family. How are you doing? If you're watching on TikTok, double click the screen, double click the screen, double click the screen. How are you doing? Oh, I was live. No wonder the live kept ending. I'm so sorry, guys. I kept I was using two phones to go live at the same time, so one was switching the other one off. I was supposed to go on TikTok and Instagram at the same time, but I was on Instagram on two phones. So each time I keep turning one on, it turns the other off. So I was wondering, what's going on? How are you doing? If you're watching on Facebook, big shout out to you. I'm not going to take too long. This is not going to be a one of those very long videos. This is just going to be hopefully an hour. I think there's an advantage to this Instagram giving me 1 hour. So within that 1 hour, I can get myself together and preach whatever message I'm going to be needing to preach. So let us first start with a quick prayer. Heavenly Father, I thank you for giving us the opportunity to gather in your name. Filter your spirit into our thoughts, O Lord, and give us wisdom and understanding. In Yahushua's name I pray. Amen. This is not so much of a Bible preaching, but rather a motivational message. So let me be clear from the beginning. I'm not going to be quoting scripture for you today. I'm just going to be giving you the reality of life. And if I need to, I would touch on scripture. Let us start with one of the biggest problems we have in Nigeria today, and that is outsourcing. It's a good thing, it's a great thing, but it also leaves us very limited. The average 25-year-old man or woman in the UK or the US or Canada can live on their own. A 25-year-old Nigerian would struggle to live on their own without parental assistance or societal assistance. If you're living in the UK, by the time you're 25, you already know how to pay your taxes, how to pay your phone bill, how to do everything you need to do by the time you're 25 years old. You know how to clean your house, how to throw away your waste and everything. In Nigeria, we have it a little bit more easy. I don't know how to clean my room because I pay somebody something at the end of the month and they get my room cleaned. I know how to wash my car, but I don't have to stress myself doing it because I pay somebody monthly to get it done. I don't know how to make prepare most of the foods I like to eat because we have a chef in the house and Taste Buds factory is just down the road from the house. Anything I need can be made for me there and brought to the house for me. But you see, this also transforms itself into every facet of our lives. We find ourselves unable to take the mantle of our spirituality. And even though you live abroad, Because you have that. Let me tell you, the reason why you can cook abroad is because nobody will cook for you. If you come to Nigeria, you will not cook. Buki Shote. How many times did you cook when you came to Nigeria? I'm asking you. How many times did you cook? Buki Shote, if you are living in Nigeria, you will not cook. Rita Gambia, if you are living in Nigeria, you will not cook. Especially if you live in Nigeria and you are earning the amount of money you are earning in the UK. Naomi Crystal, you will not cook. Josh Essek, you will not cook. The reason why you are cooking is because you have no choice. You have no choice. That's why you are cooking. You have no choice. That's why you are throwing away the bag. I have somebody that will clean my room, do everything I need. I've not made my bed maybe in 6 months. And anytime I'm making my bed is because the children are on holiday. Sorry, they are in school and the maid is on holiday. That's what will make me make my bed. So many of you don't get it. You are cooking abroad not because you like cooking. You are washing the plates abroad not because you like washing the plates. You are throwing out the dustbin abroad not because you like throwing the dustbin. Because you have no choice. So you are not by default a DIY, which means do it yourself person. I'll tell you a story. In Romania, my uncle, I've never met people like Romania. Baba, if you go to Romania for 6 months, you feel lazy. My cousin and her husband's father, her father-in-law, they tiled. I'm not talking of painting wall. In the UK, people paint wall. They laid tiles, floor tiles, mixed cement, and laid tiles of their whole house. They did electrical work. I wish I had the phone I took with me the last time I went to Romania. The husband will knock. Yeah, inside most homes in Romania, they will have a shed where they do their carpentry work. The husband is a banker. He will come home from the bank early so he can put in 1 or 2 hours of work before daylight because they had not yet connected the light to the house. They were doing the walls. What they inherited from their parents was a nice plot of land in a nice area. The building carcass was built by the construction company. Everything else was done by them. My uncle Marius, older than my mom. My mom is 69 this year. So Uncle Marius is at least 6 years older than her. So he was about 70 in 2018. A 70-year-old man. They do all the cooking. He and his wife. There are things he likes to cook. There are things the wife likes to cook. They do them themselves. The one way tripped me. We got inside the car and he was supposed to drive us to the airport. And we saw a flat tire. I began to panic. Now so we go take missed flight today. He just opened his garage. Rolled out organizer machine. Pulled it. Pumped his tire. Pushed the machine back inside the garage. Closed the garage and went home. They brew their own wine. They brew their own cognac. The shy way that they drink, that they brew them themselves. That is on another level of DIY. Normal abroad, now normal DIY. My cousin's house. If I show you around my house, I hire professional painters to come and paint. You will see black door with white paint because they cannot tape the edge of the door. Once they paint white above the door, the white must stain the black. Nigerians are, when it comes to handwork, jeez, you run mad. The average Nigerian who is a professional painter cannot paint UK standard. You will go to jail because somebody will come and say you've messed up their house. You know that paint, the worst type of paint, when you have the ceiling is white but the wall is brown, and you must paint the edge of the brown wall, which also has an AA, which meets the corner of the white wall. Nigeria man, is either you see white on the brown or brown on the white or both. I was watching on YouTube a paintless dent removal. These guys will remove the dent on your car without painting it. Nigerian Panebita will paint the car, you will still see the dent. You'll be seeing the dent under the paint somewhere hiding there. You'll be seeing it. It will be irritating you. So as Nigerians, we can't do anything properly. That is why you'll be angry with me, but I will tell you, when I was building my house or finishing my house, because I bought it carcass and I had to do the finishing work, they brought me one Nigerian tiler. If you see, he started one bathroom. I just brought one of my friends, Louis. He just looked at it. Said, this guy is the, as if you see the work, nonsense. So I talked to Range Rover Doctor. Range Rover Doctor gave me the contact of one Togolese tiler. Baba, my bathroom now is outdated. I want to redo it. But instead of getting new design tiles and new design bathtub, and then somebody will come and align it and it will not be straight, I'd rather be managing me and my wife fight over it every time. This bathroom is outdated. We need to. I'm like, who is going to come and get it and the lines will be straight? At least, even if it's outdated, the lines are straight. This one, you go and hire somebody and they'll come and they'll use the latest equipment and everything will be bending and you'll be getting dizzy looking at your own wall. The guy that washes my car, any performance car, comes with very thin paint work. My Mercedes, the paint is hard like stone. My sports car, the paint is thin. Any small thing, it will peel. Why? Because the more paint you put on to make it thicker, the heavier the car gets. The car is literally glued together and riveted together just to save weight because you need performance. So the whole body is either carbon composite, carbon fiber, or composite, which is like plastic or fiberglass, to save weight. You know you have that kind of paint. You now give your car to somebody to wash and the person will rush and wash it and be scrubbing it. No. You saw the way the guy was washing it that day. That's how I taught him how to wash it. That's what to take care of your paint. The average Nigerian car wash will scratch your whole car for you and leave it and move. And you think he has done you a favor. There is no finesse because we are not used to doing things for ourselves because we truly enjoy doing them. And that's what brings us to religion. Matthew chapter 6 verse 6 says, enter your room, pray by yourself. God that sees you praying by yourself will reward you publicly. How many of you actually do it yourself, praying? Anytime you see a prayer meeting, what God cannot do does not exist, they will see you. Now you could be number one, way reach there. Some of you do. I know somebody who wakes up at 5 a.m., does 5 to 6 with one pastor, does 6 to 7 with another pastor, and does 7 to 8 with the other pastor. Yet, the war in your life is not reducing. One of the reasons why many of you have long praying times is because you don't know how to pray. If you knew how to pray, you would not waste time praying. You would spend more time meditating, basking in God's glory. Nosagie says, are you okay? Why don't you call your father? Put a call through to your father and ask him if he's okay. Since you have decided that the failure of your parents' upbringing in your life, it is today you want to manifest it and be unfortunate publicly. Can I please continue? You don't have to watch me. Please exit. Block me. That thing you want to hear, I'm not going to tell it to you. I will tell you the truth that it might take some of you 5 years to get, and by that time it might be too late. Before you learn how to pray, you must first learn how to think. The problem is many of you don't know how to think. So you are trying to pray. If you understood the power of your mind, if you understood the power of your mind, this thing I'm telling you, if you are a Muslim, you are an atheist, you are a Christian, you are a agnostic, you are Ogun worshipper, so if you understood the power of your mind, you would be able to work your mind to get whatever it is you want to get, aside your religion. The moment you know how to think, the moment you know how to process thought, the moment you understand the power of your mind, many of you don't understand how powerful your mind is. All you need to do is focus, imagine, and create. Three very important words. Write these words down. Focus, imagine, create. The first stage is to be able to focus your mind. Focus your mind. What do you want? Just focus your mind on anything. I'll tell you a story. Everything I've ever wanted from when I was in university till today, I have always gotten. Or most of what I've always wanted, because sometimes I like very expensive things. And I'll tell you why I've not gotten the very expensive ones. I'll explain that part to you. But let me say a lot, and if not 95% of what I wanted. And the remaining 5%, I know what to do to get it, but I'm not willing to do it. It starts with focus. Focus, you have two aspects of focus: your strengths and your weaknesses. What are you good at? That's your strength. I'm a beautiful girl with a good figure. Is a strength. I'm top of my class, Naomi Crystal. I have a first class. That's a strength. I am very good with numbers, Buki Shote. That's a strength. Those are your strengths. I can paint, I can sing, I can draw. I have leadership qualities. Those are your strengths, your talents, your abilities. There are some people who can jog every day, 2 hours a day for a year and not break it. That's a strength. Ibere said, I can dance. Someone said, I can cook. Those are your strengths. What are your weaknesses? Your weaknesses are more important than your strengths. Your weaknesses are more important than your strengths. No matter how good a soldier is, if he has flat foot, there are certain places they will not allow him to go. His weakness is preventing him, despite his strength. Josh Essex said he can bench very well. That's a strength. It's a strength, whether you like it or not. What are now your weaknesses? One of my weaknesses, I don't like 9 to 5. That's why I can't survive abroad. I don't like that I wake up in the morning and go somewhere and be there by 9 o'clock. Or even just wake up in the morning and on my laptop at 9 o'clock. I'm going to be useless at it. Naomi Crystal is here. I used to start my show at 7 o'clock on Cool FM. 7 o'clock is when I'm supposed to be on air. 7 o'clock is when I'm rushing to get out of my estate because they close the gate at 7. I'll be dragging the gate with them. I came before 7. It's 6. And meanwhile, I'm supposed to be at Cool FM at 7. So I should have left my house at 6:15. I'll now be speeding like someone that has run mental because I just managed to pass the gate at 7. So I'm now running. There are days that traffic will catch me. I'll call Naomi. Nene, risky. Yeah, put song for me. And just start the show. Don't let them know I'm not around here too. One of my biggest weaknesses is punctuality, adhering to any form of a schedule is one of my weaknesses. I've known it since I was a child. So any career that requires me to have a schedule, it will not work. No matter how talented I am, is either I yawn through the process, I grumble through the process, I hiss through the process, I will not be productive. It's my weakness. And I've tried to work against it, but I dislike it. I'm not a morning person. You can't require me to come somewhere at 7 o'clock in the morning every day. You will never get it. They will tell you to write reports. You say, Daddy Freeze is the most useless employee. One of the reasons why I can't stand abroad. I am the kind of person that likes to do my things at my own time. I have to dictate my time. I can decide to wake up at 2 a.m. because it's working for me. I can decide to go to bed at 5. I don't have a routine. In my life is the most useless life when it comes to routine. This morning I went to bed at 5. I woke up by 10. I slept for 2 hours. It's very bad for even my health because I'm supposed to sleep. But if I have something to do at 2 a.m., I wake up, I do it, and I go back to bed. But that I have to every day wake up at 2 a.m. and walk a 6-hour stretch, that's not me. I will never be productive. And the moment you know that weakness, you will work with it. Focus. First stage. Focus on your strengths and your weaknesses. Once you understand your strengths, you have 3 strengths. You like to cook, you like to paint, and you like to sing. Cooking requires having a regimented schedule. Your weakness is going to affect it. Drop cooking. Music, on the other hand, has a more flexible schedule. My weakness will not interfere with this. I will work with this. I'm just giving you, off the top of my head, very random ideologies. You are going to sit down and write focus and put your weaknesses. Be honest with yourself. I cannot be honest for you. Be honest with yourself. What are really my weaknesses? As you see Dangote, you think say Dangote fit bench woman every day. Do you think Dangote can watch a Netflix series? Do you actually think Dangote can go to the cinema? You will like bench, you will like series, and you will like cinema. Just automatically know that you cannot be Dangote. Just go and just write Dangote and cross it. You can never be Dangote. Just understand. Just mark it down. You see, it is better for you to know where you cannot reach and focus around where you can. You'll be better off than someone that thinks he can be Dangote and his weaknesses are dragging his blockers, dragging his bobby, dragging his ear, dragging his teeth. You want to cuddle up every 2, like me, for instance. If you allow me, I want to watch series every night. Pepper soup, beer. I've stopped drinking nightly beer because I'm 48 years old. I cannot be drinking beer every night. So I drink beer 3 times a week. But that I will not have Netflix. Me and my wife sat down the other day and said, you know what? We cannot be watching TV every day again. You have your work. I have my work. So we are going to watch TV Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I finished my work around 3:30 a.m. They brought cowtail pepper soup at that 3:30 a.m. I had 7-Up free that had been chilling in the freezer. I just brought it by the side. My sugarless malt, I just took one, gave taste buds. I say make we put Anikulakbo part 2 of the series. Say we just watch and small. We watch the part 2 finish. Because if you chop that kind of food, you go on at least 20 minutes to digest the food before you go to bed. Now, so we take watch the whole part 2 finish. As I won't get up off the television, they will say, may we see what's happening for the beginning of part 3. As a see person way, me and Nam talk say, we're not going to watch series during the week. Now I say, okay, we just watch the beginning part. Now beginning part we day when baby freeze nanny begin knock, back, don't come, I go wake baby freeze. Hey, your nanny has come. We went to bed at 5 a.m. When you are waking up, that's when we are going to bed. My life, Naomi said, I don't think you can afford to ignore your weaknesses until you get to a certain point. You see, and I'm gonna work with that. You see, there are some times in your life when you can't afford it. I work 9 to 5 when I have no choice. I have no choice. I work 9 to 5. When I first joined Cool FM, Mama, is Cool FM my father's company? They employed me to be a production officer. Production work starts at 8:20 and closes at 5:30. They gave me a house in Dolphin Estate. I will wake up at 6 a.m. as much as I disliked it and drive all the way from Ikoyi to VI, finish my work. Once I close by 5:30, I start driving home. I didn't like it. I disliked it. I was unhappy because even when I was in uni, my schedule was a bit more flexible. We don't have classes every day. One class in the morning. So I can just regularly. There are sometimes my class starts at 12 noon and it will end by 7. There are sometimes my class will start at 8 a.m. and end by 1 p.m. There are sometimes my classes will start at 8 a.m. and end by 7 p.m. but I'll have 2 hours, 3 hours in between break. Every morning, every Monday and Friday, I used to attend meeting in BCOS office. My show was 3 times a week. I did not have to do the same thing every day for a year. And joining Cool FM, I had to do it. I could not resign. I didn't like it, but I had to do it because I could not afford not to do it. But here's the power of focus. When you put down your likes, what do you want? What are my strengths? You know your strengths. What are your weaknesses? You know your weaknesses. Your subconscious brain will start tilting you towards where your strengths will be appreciated and where your weaknesses will not be so. There's nowhere in your life where no matter where you are, your weakness will affect you and your strength to push you. But you have to get to a point where you have overcome your weaknesses to the point where they are not pulling you as much as your strengths are pushing you. Because if your strength is pushing you 5 and your weakness is pulling you 7, you will never go forward. But if your weakness is pulling you 2 and your strength is pushing you 6, with your strength, you can overcome your weakness. I'll give you an example. There are 4 principles that keep a plane in the air. Gravity is pulling the plane down. Drag is pulling the plane back. Lift is pushing the plane up. And thrust is pushing the plane forward. Why does a plane fall out of the sky? If gravity and drag can overcome thrust and lift, the plane is falling down. Thrust is the engine pushing the plane forward. Drag is pulling it back. Lift is the wings lifting the plane up. Gravity is pulling the plane down. As long as you can overcome gravity and drag with your lift and your thrust, you will fly. So don't think your weaknesses are there. The drag is there. The drag has not gone anywhere. It's not on holiday. The plane is just overcoming it. Don't think that gravity has gone to attend a wedding or has gone on a vacation. No, the gravity is there. It's just that the thrust and the lift are more powerful than the gravity. The day your engine fails, that's the day you understand that gravity is not going anywhere. Gravity that I thought was on holiday will just show up. Say, hey, you people phone me. What do people need? So it's not about your weaknesses. The people who studied the plane, the people who built the plane, understood that the plane has weaknesses. By default, there's drag and there's gravity. But what you do is you have to work in such a way that you can overcome them. So the first stage is your focus stage. Focus, you are training your mind to overcome your weaknesses with your strengths. First stage of focus is you are focusing on your strengths that are more powerful than the weaknesses that can pull down those strengths. Make I give you an example. You will like alcohol. Where you know say alcohol na your weakness. You know go find work for brewery where alcohol dey free. Hello. You where you know say alcohol na your weakness. If they give you 3 jobs, law chamber, brewery, and music studio, no go collect brewery work. You no go rise, you no go fly. I don't know if I'm communicating with you. So when you are picking your focus, you are looking first of all by yourself. Then your brain is going to do a lot of the work. Your brain is going to eliminate your weaknesses to the barest minimum by focusing on your strengths. I was having a conversation with my mom one day, not too long ago. You know, my mom was like, that anywhere she finds herself, she adapts. I say, me, I'm not like that. There are very few things I know how to do, but those few things I know how to do them well. My mom, on the other hand, anything you give her, she will do it and do it well. I'm not like that. I have to enjoy what I do. If I don't enjoy it, I'll be useless to you and useless to myself. So, you have to understand yourself. You have to give your brain fuel. I hate to use this example, but I call it when you touch yourself, when you totori yourself. Who do ever totori themselves before? Who don't ever totori themselves before? Raise your hands, all of you that are here. I know you. If in one call, just raise your hand. Don't even lie. Remy, I see you there. Son of Yuku, I know all of you. Like to totori yourself. Josh Esek, you know they lie. Nine first agree. Somebody say all of us. Everybody, anybody wait day here, we say never touch himself before, never totori himself before, and lie, they lie. Somebody say, how does that feel? Will you stop lying to yourself? Anybody that's telling you that they cannot is a lie. There used to be one guy that used to tell us that he cannot. Until one day, he thinks say we don't sleep. Now he bring anaconda come out, begin to give anaconda Vaseline chop. Hello? Mrs. Linda, don't even lie. What I say as in house, stop lying to yourselves. Now, all of you where they totori yourselves. All of you, Buki Sotel, I don't call you too, not run. All of you where don't totori yourselves before. What you cannot do it. Have you noticed that you cannot do it without thinking of something? Is that you are thinking of someone that you find attractive, or you remember something that you have done before with someone you find attractive, or you can remember one of your experiences, or you can remember somebody that you have wanted to do it with, but it never really happened. Hello? Hello? Work with me, somebody. Work with me. Work with me. We're grown ups here. We're not lying to ourselves. Work with me. Someone say, oh, watch Mojo. God will bless you. It is impossible, because you need to understand something here. The Bolahon and the Quake are both connected to your brain. If the brain does not send signal, Bolahon cannot stand at attention and salute. If the brain does not send signal, Quake cannot totori. Whether you understand. Hello. It is actually easier for men than for women. Because for men, you get medicine where you go drink. Alimoro. Burantashi. If you drink that medicine, by default, because Bolahon is not only controlled by the brain, it is also controlled by the blood. Blood is directed towards that place. So Bolahon will greet you, good morning, say hello. Woman, on the other hand, there is no one pill that a woman can take. We go give them that. Instead, the pills that have been successful are the pills that they use to treat depression. Because if the woman's brain is not connected, that place not will work. A woman needs brain fuel that will manifest as fakafiki energy. A man too needs it, oh, you can't do without it. But for a woman, it's so much more important. Let's go away from this topic, because you people, I can see that this is what people like. These people's life is useless and wasted. This is where your brain is 24 hours a day. I just use it to do example. When I don't begin to buy land there, they build house there. When I don't begin to draw fence. What I'm trying to say is, what I'm trying to bring out is that mental fuel that you need to achieve the climax when you and Bolahon they play. You need that mental fuel in your focus. So what do you think about? Somebody type. Josh, what do you think about when you are playing with Bolahon? Are you thinking of a previous girlfriend that was good? Are you thinking of that girl at work we get big baka? Are you thinking of your former neighbor where they throw to you, but one way or the other, just walk? Are you thinking of your colleague that work go end, remain only two of now, and I go run, enter bathroom, quickly do, arrange, come back? What is that thing you are thinking about? Someone said, my wife. You are thinking of something. Let me mess with you. Josh Essex say in babes. Somebody say in wife. If you don't have babes and you don't have wife, what will you think about? Someone said P-Hub. If you don't watch P-Hub, what do you think about? Someone say Kim K. If you have never seen Kim K before in your life, what do you think about? Do you get where I'm going? You have to feed your mind something. So when you are trying to do that thing, there's brain fuel. Your brain is going to tap from somewhere. That's the same way life works. If you have not fed your mind anything, When your brain wants to totori itself, there is nothing to tap from. So we now move to the next stage, imagination. Imagination only works on what you have fed your brain. Remember, we are focused. We have our strengths, we have our weaknesses on one side. Now we have our imagination. Imagination is a product of exposure. If you have never seen a Ferrari before, you cannot imagine it. If you have never seen a beautiful woman before, you cannot imagine it. So you are feeding your brain what your brain is going to imagine. Sometimes when you are imagining, you are repeating scenarios. Like the day your baby came home. The day your baby came home, you keep playing it in your head. Who has scenes in your head that you have played at least 1 million times? Imagine one scene in your head that you have played 1 million times. You just keep remembering. It might be a painful scene. It might be a happy scene. I need somebody to mention a scene. Bookie Shorter, mention a scene from your past that your brain keeps playing over, and maybe it's the day you met your husband, maybe it's the day you ate one food that was so nice. You just find your brain going to that place over and over again. Ibiere said her first kiss. Somebody said their wedding day. You find yourself going there by default. Someone said in Cousin Pie. Bookie Shorter said romantic screens. Someone said the day my ex hit me. Adorable Remy says 7th birthday. Ifin Wanko said being pinned to the wall for the first time. These are scenarios that happened in your conscious mind but have been transferred to your subconscious mind. So your subconscious mind is waking you up with them from time to time. Someone said, I can never forget the back of St. Louis Grammar School. Very good. You have all this, your useless memories. Well, your brain. Now, let us start feeding our mind fuel so our imagination can go a higher notch. Let me play with you since we're being more mature here. Let me play with your brain a little bit. When you want to play with yourself, you start thinking of different things. Somebody saying wife, somebody saying ex, somebody say fine girl waiting C for Mojo, somebody say D. You've said all those things. Nobody ever mentioned alien. Imagine you were abducted by an alien, and then you did fakafiki with an alien or a mami water or a spirit, and that fakafiki you have never experienced that kind before. It blew your mind. You have a new type of fuel now. There is a new type of brain fuel that is in your brain now, that is working now. It wasn't there before because you have never experienced that high before. All your highs, all what your subconscious is feeding your mind are things you have experienced before. We need to take our imagination to a next level. How do you do that? By reading and discovering new things. By asking questions. What do successful people do? How do successful people make their money? When they've made their money, where do they hang out? What do they drink? Where do they eat? So you have a friend who is successful and you follow them to, let's say, the golf course. You don't play golf, you don't like golf, but you need to have something to imagine about. You need to have some brain fuel. Your brain right now is running at an empty tank because everything you are imagining is something that's happened before. You now need to start imagining new things. And then you go to the golf course and you see a wealthy guy playing with his son golf. You've never imagined that before. Remember, focus, imagine. You focus on it and you start to imagine yourself maybe not playing golf because you don't like golf or football. What do you like? You like skipping. So you now start imagining yourself skipping with your son. You have created a new scene for yourself. On your way home, you see a Ferrari dealership. In your life, none of your family has ever driven Ferrari before. You walk into the Ferrari dealership. You start pricing the cars. You go online. You go to their website. And you spec one. To pick a Ferrari, like I say, okay, this one. This is the color I want. This is the chair I want. This is the alloy I want. This is the caliper I want. Start picking it, start picking it, start picking it. What are you doing? You are moving away from your wedding day. You are moving away from the guy that pinned you to the wall. You are moving away from those things that have been normal to you, and you are creating a new normalcy in your subconscious. More brain fuel. So when you want to play with yourself, your brain is now going to go into your subconscious and bring out a new experience. A Ferrari dealership. You walk into the Ferrari, they look at you, they look at your shoe, they say, you cannot afford a car here. It's an experience. You start thinking about it. Your brain starts working. Okay, what can I do so that next time I go into a Ferrari dealership, they will not look at my shoe? So with new experiences, your imagination gets broader. You feed your brain with experiences, pleasures, visual ideas, smells. Look at somebody beside you and tell them, feed your brain. Feed your mind. Your mind, no matter how brilliant it is, cannot work without fuel. You have the fastest Ferrari in the world with no fuel. And then you have the slowest downfall in the world with full tank. Who will get to the destination first? Who will get to the destination first? That one will get fuel, no matter how slow the mind be, because there is something in it, there's something it can work with, it will get there before the one that doesn't have something it's working with. We now get to the third stage. That is the create stage. Focus, imagination, creation. Focus, imagination, creation. You would see the manifestation of your focus and your imagination in your real life. It will look like magic. At the create stage, you have focused, you have imagined. It will be you will find yourself tilting towards it. You will just find yourself in that space. You will not be able to understand how. Your mind is so powerful that by the time you get into the create or manifest stage, You will not even know you are there. You just realize that, oh my goodness, I always imagined I'll do this. Wow. I've always imagined that this will happen. And it is happening. Many of you who don't know how to train your mind will think it is prayers answered. Oh, well, you could call it that. But what's actually happening is your mind manifesting its power. Many of you have refused to train your minds. So your mind cannot manifest. And your mind is so powerful that your mind can actually control things around you. Not because it's affecting the things around you, but because it's affecting the way you see the things around you. So for instance, let me give you my focus stage. I'm focusing on my strength. I can sing. My weakness, I don't like to wake up early in the morning. So I'm working with that premise. My strength is I can sing. My weakness is I don't like waking up in the morning. As I'm moving around, my brain will be sifting out opportunities. They need somebody to sing, but the person will be waking up in the morning. Your brain will not even in, out, garbage in, garbage out. So your brain, it will look like you are controlling the situation around you. Meanwhile, what you are doing is your brain is filtering out the situations and putting you in a position where you are the best by default, automatically. So your focus is your brain, your mind is so powerful that it's almost looking like it's rearranging things around you. Meanwhile, what is rearranging the way you perceive those things and your reaction to those things. And then your imagination has set in. I'm going to give you personal experiences so you can understand how powerful this is. And then you will begin to manifest it. When I was in my final year in the university, I always worked on the radio. How did I start working on the radio? I have 8 more minutes. I'm going to try to rush through this. How did I start working on the radio? I didn't know what I could do. I didn't want to be a doctor. I didn't like being a doctor. I didn't want to be a lawyer. I didn't see myself as a lawyer. I never saw myself wearing tie and having big books around my house. I wanted to be a rapper. I liked the rap lifestyle. I felt that, yeah, this is something I could do, but there was nobody rapping in Nigeria back then. I'm talking about the early 90s. Ain't nobody rapping back then. So the next thing I now did was I'm in my focus stage. I'm focusing on what I can do. What can I do? I know what I can't do, but I don't know what I can do. Okay, I can rap, but there's no rap. So one day I'm sitting in my parlor and I'm listening to the radio. And I keep thinking, I can do this. This sounds like what I can do. It's not too mentally draining for me. It's not too stressful. I can do this. I've entered my imagination mode. I'm imagining myself in a radio station. I didn't know what a radio station looked like, but I shall imagine say they will press play and they will press stop and they will talk. Yo, what's going on? This is the music of Majek Fashek. Yeah, Majek Fashek. Oh yes, Majek Fashek is 35 years old. He just dropped a brand new one. Send down the rain. Hey. I thought I could do this. That was about 1993. Now, wanting to be a rapper, I used to go for rap competitions and miming competitions. My father used to beat me there and say, your mates are going for science competition. You are going for singing competition. I look at my father and say, I tell you, say I want to be scientist. So one particular time I went for one competition. They said I was going to win television. I was the best mimer. They gave me a prize saying I mime passed. Nobody mime passed me. Okay, give me the television. There was no television. So I went back home My father said he was only going to allow me to go that one, but after this, he's not going to allow me. I came back home. My papa said, where the television? I said, they said they will bring the television. Till today, they still never give me the television, what I want. But you see, I was seeing myself in that light. Then finally, in 1996, I went abroad with my mom to Romania. And I met my cousin Gina, who was working on the radio station, and she had a radio show, and she just invited me, come and see what a radio station looks like. The radio station was called Radio Galaxia. So I followed her to the Radio Galaxia. I did a bit of production work. I used to go there every day. I used to go there every single day. While I was on that holiday, I'll go and meet my mother. I'll razzle my mother, give me transport. My mother give me, I'll take bus. I had to learn how to use bus in Romania. I begin to use bus. They work out. They go to the radio station every day. I came back to Nigeria. I told my mom that I wanted to work on the radio. One of the MCs, Wale Don then, was MC of that place that I went to that they said they were going to give me television. They did not give me the television. But me and the MC, because I did see the MC for town. Uncle Wale Don, the Uncle Wale, now we they call him that year. Now so, I go meet him for house when they say, Baba, I want work for radio. He say, in no feed, but opportunity day, OGBC. So I went to my mom. I said, I'm going to go to OGBC. My mom say I'm stubborn. My mother now saw that if she didn't help me with BCS that is around, I will go and be working in this radio station in Abeokuta. So my mama shall help me. I shall get the work. That radio station work that I started in 1996. I resigned in 2022. I was there for 26 years. The Radio Galaxia is no longer in existence, closed down. The Gina, that is my cousin, never took a career in radio serious. But because I had focused my mind, it was in my subconscious. The person that took me there just took me there. They were high school people. They were having fun. They were attending it. No, well and good. My focus and my imagination made me create a career out of what some people did as a hobby. The same thing manifested itself even when I came online. I noticed people were coming online, we're doing live. I said, okay, you know what? I started focusing on it. I'll tell you a story. In around 2006, I used to drive to Ibadan to see my parents. And I'll drive into my parents' estates. They used to stay in Olubadan estate then. And I'll see so many houses, and I'll just look at the house. I'll just imagine my dream car then was a BMW 6 Series convertible and a Mercedes CLS. So I'll just imagine, you see the garage of the house. Just imagine a Mercedes and a BMW sticking out of that. I say, this will look nice. So I would like to live here. But how will I be working in Lagos? Do I really have to go? How can I create a situation where I don't have to go to the radio station, but I get my work done? It took about 10 years or 12 years before COVID came. And I saw the manifestation of what I had imagined. Me actually doing the radio work, but not going to the radio station. And I did that for 2 years. I'll tell you a final story. I remember when I was buying this house. I was house shopping. I have 2 more minutes. I was house shopping. I was going from house to house. They gave me a house that is finer and better than this house. But there's no road the road was like this big, very bad road. And they were like, yeah, you know what? The house is nice. I said, yeah, the house is nice, but the road is not nice. The guy now looked at me and said, but you have a Jeep. I said, so what if tomorrow I buy a sports car? I cannot bring my sports car home. They were looking at me but said, but you don't have a sports car. I said, but I will have one. This was in 2013. I bought my first sports car 2020, 7 years later. I was choosing my house in 2013 for a car that I did not have money to buy. And I did not have the money for 7 years later. but I made mental provision. Start making mental provision for what you truly want for yourself. The kind of wife you want, start making mental provision. Start focusing. What do I need? We can't finish this in one session. I have 40 seconds left. What do I really need? I want a woman who's sexy. I want a woman who's intelligent. I want a woman who's not a sheeple. I want a woman who is close to her family but not controlled by her family. Start feeding your focus. Start controlling your imagination. That woman will manifest in your life. Just watch. That's how powerful your mind is. Same thing with women. I want a man who's not a mommy's boy but loves his mom. I want a fair-skinned, tall guy. I want a man who is rich enough but not a thief. And it will manifest. That's your brain power. God bless you this morning. God bless you all. See you all later. We'll come back and gist.